This is Noah Ralston. This is my final project to human factors and AI. The goal of this project is to apply my knowledge and skills to design and consider the ethical and privacy implications of a new machine learning based product. I will select the project, which you will, or the topic, which you'll see in a second. Um, but first, let's go over the criteria. The criteria used to grade this project will be the task analysis, the user experience design, privacy considerations, and ethical considerations. The problem from my industry is that in digital marketing agencies, employee turnover is frequent and hard to predict, which results in difficulty keeping good talent and properly staffing clients. Employees often will go to other agencies too, which not only weakens our talent pool, but strengthens other competitors. Many factors can lead to an employee wanting to leave. And if they want to leave, they tend not to tell their managers for fear of job security. So the goal here is to better predict employee satisfaction, mainly focusing on agency lifestyle, as opposed to just general employee satisfaction solutions. Here we can consider things that might lead to employee leaving or being unhappy, such as their client's own satisfaction, their client's performance at the agency, different like client metrics that would be unique to ad agencies, along with typical signals such as like salary, location, etc. Design would really just be a type of dashboard that senior leadership or HR management would be able to use for their direct employees, um, along with some indication of employee satisfaction at the company and their current role. The key considerations for the user experience are first the user input. Should managers be able to override this? I personally don't think so because there can introduce some situations of bias, which we'll go over later, where managers could be looking at their own job security. I think here it would be more of a feedback, but not any override feature. Transparency, we should be giving all employees full visibility into the factors considered into these metrics. And then communicating uncertainty, I think it's important to communicate to the company, all employees, that these are proxies used to gauge and not steadfast metrics that are determining employees' bonuses, salaries, or promotions. Since we are collecting employee data, there are PII data concerns that we have to address, especially with part of this probably being financial, i.e., salary. Our company is also a global company that has employees all over the world, which includes Europe, and because of that, we'll have to follow such privacy laws as the GDPR. Potential biases here largely circulate around deployment bias, as managers or senior leadership could use this as a way to determine employees who are dissatisfied and pair that with employee performance to preemptively terminate employees that fit that criteria. I think here we would have to set up good guardrails of the use of the system. But other forms of bias could include representation bias, resulting in the demographics of employees hired at the time, and being a bad predictor when new employees who don't fit into that join the company. Also, there'd be a learning bias towards employees with good clients, making it hard to staff bad clients with top talent, and then a feedback loop bias of managers trying to overwrite for their own job security if we allow that functionality. The way we would be meeting our ethical AI goals would be first for fairness, we would ensure that there are guardrails in place for what predictions can be used for. Again, this type of data could not be used for promotions, bonus, or job security, really just trying to improve employee satisfaction and work-life balance. For accountability, this would mainly be on senior leadership who would be implementing this solution, and any mismanagement of that tool would be directly accountable to them with like an HR mediator between senior leadership and employees for this. And then lastly, transparency. We would make sure that everybody in the company is aware of what is being used to determine these predictions with maybe an opt-out too, and that employees are able to access these ratings at least during their quarterly reviews. But again, this would not be part of their actual quarterly review outcome. Thanks for listening. This was a great class, a great specialization in general, and I appreciate you taking the time to look at my project.